Hi, this is demo of DI Manager, an application for management and scheduling of technologists, diagnostic imaging resources such as location, modalities, rooms, etc. To demonstrate this demo, I'll first log in as a coordinator, an ultrasound coordinator. So let's just log in. So the validation does work. So the loading indicator you saw, this is a development environment. So all the requests to the API are quite fast, but I just added a little bit of delay to the request to be able to demonstrate some of the loading indicators here and there. But once I've logged in as the ultrasound coordinator, because of my role, the application made a request to the API and retrieved all the ultrasound shifts for the day. And as a coordinator, I'm able to add new shift, edit shifts, and delete them. So let's demo the adding of shift. Um, let's select the start time, end time, select a location, um, room name, technologist, and their license. So some of these fields do respond to the other fields. For example, the licenses respond to the technologist. So this licenses do belong to this technologist. The reason I mentioned that, so I added that shift. The reason I mentioned that is um, I worked for an organization where the coordinators were managing all the shifts in Excel spreadsheet, and they're having a hard time sometimes, for example, assigning appropriate technologists to a shift. For example, for an OB shift, they were having a hard time figuring out, which technologist had the obstetric license out of all the technologists that they had. And so this kind of resolves that problem, and that's where I got the idea for creating this application. But anyways, I just created this new shift, and I can now edit this shift. If I want, I can move this shift to completely new location. So because I chose a new location, I have to select a room within that location, and let's just move that. So that shift got moved to this location, and I can delete the shift entirely as well. So let's go into the month view. In month view, I can view all the shifts for the month, and as a coordinator, I have the ability to click on this edit button, which really just sends me back to the day view, and I can perform the same functions that I just demonstrated. So let's go back into month view. The other cool thing about the month view is I can add shifts in range. So let's go to November. I think November has some empty days. Yep. So we'll select 8 to 10th. So let's do November 8th to November 10th, and we'll select the time frame and a location, room name, a technologist, and a license. So 8th to 10th. So this adds that shift for that date range. So it's a kind of quick, easy way for coordinators to add multiple shifts at once. So that's what the technologists, or sorry, the coordinators can do. So let's just log out and I can demonstrate what the administrators can do. So if I log in as an admin, actually before I do that, let's just sign up or request access for a coordinator. So let's just say I'm a brand new coordinator and I want access to the ultrasound department, and I would like so that I can start modifying and editing shifts there. So I'll just call this, created some demo users here, so I'll call this new demo user 5. All right, so let's register this user. Um, so because I have no permission right now, I'm just pushed into the day view, and I'm not really able to perform my coordinator functions, but I can still navigate through this application like a non-registered users and filter for chefs and view what I need to view. Just no edit permission or edit or coordinator permissions. But because we'll cover that, we'll cover the non-registered user workflow a little bit later. We'll just log out and log in as an administrator. All right. So now I'm into the admin dashboard. And as an admin, I can assign roles. So the new demo user 5 that I just created. So right now the user has no access. So I can click on that, assign them a modality, and make them the coordinator. And now this user can log in, and he or she would be able to do the same thing that I just did as this user here that I demonstrated earlier. Um, I can also take users access away if I want to. So let's go into as an admin, I'm also able to manage resources such as add new technologies, licenses, locations. Um, like let's go through adding one of the resources here. So I'll just select um, a modality, and I can edit any of the technologists here. I can delete the technologists. I can edit them and give them more licenses or remove licenses. Let's just clean up some of those test ones, and it will create some again. Let's add some licenses to this one and remove this old license, for example, let's say. So that technologist got updated. I can also add brand new technologists. Um, I can assign some license. I don't have to select any license at this time. I can always come back and edit and add new licenses. But let's just do that. So there's that new technologist with their appropriate licenses. All right, so let's just, so I can also do that for licenses, location, rooms, and modalities as well. So let's log out and let's just demonstrate what what a non-registered user can do. So, for example, receptionists and technologists, they don't really have to sign up for this application. They can just quickly go into Davy, for example, and let's just say they want to see what the day looks like just for ultrasound, for example, a receptionist, and they can go in and see that, hey, this is what the ultrasound shifts look like for this day. Um, but if I was a technologist, for example, let's just say I am, my name is Dwayne Johnson with the initial of DJ, and I can just select my name and apply, and I can just only see my shift. Same thing can happen in month view as well. So if I go into month view and select ultrasound, so there's lots of shifts for month of August, but if I wanted to just narrow it down to just this user, for example, that way I can only see my shifts or this technologist shifts. It's a quick and easy way of filtering and viewing shifts in this application. All right. So I think that's the gist of this application. So there's obviously both client and server-side validation for all the requests. If I just go into Postman, let's just try to create a technologist with no auth or no authentication. So there's no JWT token here. So let's just send the request in, and I can see that I'm getting a 401 unauthorized error here. Um, so if I just log in as an admin, and I can have some scripts set up here to set the token at login at and Postman. So let's just send it in. I'm getting user object back, so that means that this has been successful. So now I can go into trying to create a technologist. Just make sure that oh, this is a no odd. So let's just go into, yeah. So this is set. So let's just try to create this new technologist. Let's just make sure. So I did get a respond back, 200 OK. So that means that I should have this technologist available. Um, just make sure. Right here. So DH, that was the initial, so perfect. So we have that technologist created. Um, So there's also a bunch of server-side validations, such as if I try to create technologist with just the no name, I should get an error back. So name must not be empty. Um, Also, some complex validations, such as, for example, this is the ultrasound technologist. This is their ultrasound technologist ID. If I added, for some odd reason, if I tried to send an API request with license ID that belongs to an X-ray license, I should get an error for that as well. So there are both server-side and client-side validations available for this application. And I think that's the demo. Thank you for watching this demo.